Hitler persuaded many Germans to believe in the superiority of the Aryan race, and therefore the inferiority of all others. No one questioned whether or not there was an Aryan race.
At this point in the 20th century, it's all intermixed. There's no such thing as an Aryan race. I mean, there just isn't. Because it's all, centuries upon centuries of conquering by other people, rampaging through Europe. There is no clean, pristine people. With the Vikings coming in, with the Romans going in, with, the Muslims coming in through Spain, Europe is just a hodgepodge.
Regardless of these truths, Hitler instilled a sense of national pride by capitalizing on Germany's weak economic situation.
They were in desperate times. Their economy was destroyed. They were under the thumb of France, their longtime bitter enemy. People were starving. They lost an entire generation of World War I. It was just an awful time to be alive in Germany. And so what they don't need to hear is that it's their fault. What they don't need to hear is because Germany decided to start World War I. What they want to hear is something else. And all they want to hear is, it's not their fault and it's going to get better. All right? And so that was his message. He'll put little, roses and daisies around it, but that was the central thrust of his speeches, was that it's not your fault. You've been betrayed by the Weimar Republic, who's under the control of Jews and foreigners, who control our economics, who control our financial policies. All absolutely false, but people don't care. The truth isn't what people are looking for. They're looking for hope. And as sick and as twisted as it becomes, Hitler becomes that voice of hope because nobody else is providing that.
Hitler quickly rose to power, becoming chancellor in 1933. He established concentration camps, declaring that blacks, gypsies, homosexuals, Jews, and any others who did not meet the racial requirements were to be cleansed from society.
I don't think he really gave any speeches like, we're going to torture and we're going to pull people's ears off, these sort of things. But with regards to setting a tone to where, not that you would accept the torture of other human beings, but creating this hatred within Germans for another race. And we say, oh, how could that ever happen? How could we ever accept such a thing? How are the German people so evil? I think that's a bit of a naive way to go through life. After 9/11, there's definite racial profiling of anyone who looked Middle Eastern. There were certain Americans who were killed just because they looked Middle Eastern. Heck, I saw reports where somebody who was Indian and they were beat to death, even because somebody thought that person was a terrorist. It's in there, unfortunately, within humans to hate. And especially if you're desperate enough and somebody's in your ear telling you it'll be better if we just get rid of these people, and unfortunately that's what happened.
Years later, 1945, Hitler's regime was disintegrating and the Holocaust ended as prisoners in camps were liberated. In January of that year, Hitler committed suicide. His death shed light on the inhumanity of the Holocaust.
In terms of just all of this, and once the truth comes out in terms of the concentration camps and things like that, yeah, a scar across the country. In terms of historically, Germans, they're like a jovial people. They're industrialized, they're hard workers, and they have a really good history in terms of our world history book, in terms of all the things that they accomplish. But this is just a scar that you talk to anybody, Germany, and then usually the first thing that comes out of their mouth is Holocaust, Hitler, right? And so it is a sort of a national shame.
Hitler convinced the nation to believe in false ideologies which provided the impetus for events such as the Holocaust. Ultimately, Hitler demonstrated the power of myths.